am going live. Light messes with my eyes. Okay, I'm just going to absolutely double check that we are live. It says we're live. So let me just double check that situation. Hopefully some lovely, lovely people are going to be joining us. Ah, there we are. We're live. Fantastic. So I'm coming back to Zoom. Hello, beautiful Sarah Wake. Oh, hang on. I've lost sound on you. Oh, you're muted.
Hello, can you hear me now?
I've got you now. So I just wanted to do a quick riff on we're live on my page at The Pleasure Nutritionist, and this is because you are collaborating with me. This month is Biz Month in my Embark Embodied Leadership group. And part of that is I'm really trying to create a space in which women have all of the tips and tricks and tools to show up as magnetically, authentically, and beautifully as they possibly can, and that they desire to. And that doesn't have to be hard and doesn't have to be fussy, and it doesn't have to be full of all of the perfect moments. And so I have the very beautiful Sarah Wake here, who, if you haven't met her before, is the Glow Coach. And she is just one of the most magnificent humans you will ever meet. She has this wealth of knowledge as a makeup artist and hairdresser, and combines it so beautifully to meet you exactly where you're at, and really helps you develop what she calls getting skin fit, and then developing whatever it is that you want to do from there. So welcome, Sarah Wake. Thank you for giving us your time and being here.
Thanks, mate. I'm super excited for what is going to unfold between us tonight, Jules. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, me too. So as you can see, we're both here completely bare-skinned. But what I love, and we will be doing our own little 5-minute Zoom face tips and tricks. So, but what I want to say to you is what I love about this is if you've followed any of my lives or Sarah's lives, we just show up as we are in all of the ways. Bare-skinned, no makeup, full makeup, love a bit of whatever. However it is how we show up, because we really want the inner glow to match the outer glow. And a lot of that comes with skin confidence. And that, I just want to say a quick riff, is how I came across Sarah. Really, originally we've sort of moved in similar circles for a long time. And then somehow I clicked into the fact that you were a makeup artist, followed you on Instagram, and just went, oh my God, this is the woman I need in my life. Her stories are like unbelievable. So follow her stories because they're just so fantastic. And I contacted you and you did a skin assessment and session with me, which was so great, because actually I just thought, well, this is aging and I just have to, like, I was doing all of the yogic and Buddhist things to just love my aging, you know. And then you were sitting there, you're going, yeah, but we could just like do a few things with your skin and you wouldn't have to like have the age spots and the things. And I was like, really? I was working really hard on just loving aging, you know. And you did, and you've worked with me, you know, we've probably had a review once every, I don't know, 2 or 3 months now, because I just love it. So what I love is just having really, I mean, yours is way shinier than mine, but just shiny, healthy skin that feels really good, because then it doesn't matter, no makeup or full makeup, it's the skin underneath that makes that wonderful. And when my skin is glowing and feels like just super soft and amazing, I remember that I'm glow. So my skin has become my thing that I'm like, oh, this is the adornment piece for me that I always felt like, you know, I couldn't spend the money on, or it was the last thing. And now I'm like, oh no, this is the first thing for me now. I love this so much. And I really have you to be so grateful and thankful for that experience that I kind of didn't know was out there, really, not really. So yeah. Where would you like to go from there? Do you want to tell us a bit about who you are and where you've come from and how you came to being so inspired by glowing women?
Yeah, thanks, Jules. Oh gosh, it's just such an awesome unfolding of following the breadcrumb trail, isn't it? So Yeah, I'm sitting here in beautiful Adelaide by the beach. I have two little girls. I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old now, and I'm basically married to my high school sweetheart. And I have been a makeup artist my whole life. So makeup artist, or I wanted to be one my whole life. I drew pictures of it as a kid in my projects at school, and a hairdresser. And I knew that I wanted to travel around the world. So that's sort of what I've done. I've worked for MAC overseas in the UK, and worked as a colour technician, as a hairdresser, and travelled around Australia and taught. Let's say you owned a hair salon, Jules, I'd be the person that you'd fly in to inspire your team and teach them about colour techniques. And so speaking on stages and presenting and adorning myself to inspire people has just been innately in me, and I love it so very much. And so what happened in 2020 with the pandemic and everything closing down, so here in Adelaide what I tend to do now is a lot of freelance weddings, and what started for me really was when I started working for myself 10 years ago. And I would contract myself in salons and freelance. So when Lorna Jane comes to Adelaide, I go to her hotel room and do her hair and her makeup ready for her stage presentation. And because I've been a hairdresser for 20 something years, you get into somebody's personal space and you get really good at reading people. I mean, you know that, Jules, as your time as a doula and a naturopath and all those sort of things. You just plug into people's energy and you can tell in the shifts of their body if they like what you've done to them or not. And so painting people's faces I'm 40 years old now and I've been doing it for 20 years, has become a really intuitive art form for me. So I can look at somebody's face and see if it's more the skin care that they've never been taught about. My mum, I'm one of 4 kids, and my mum is come over from England when she was 10, and just her mum was a Pond's cold cream user and had lovely skin. And so my mum sort of prided herself on, well, my mum used this, so this is all I'm going to use. But the fact is we all live now under much harsher environmental conditions with a hole in the ozone layer. And you see people running on the esplanade with no sunglasses on, squinting, and it's just such a full-on thing. You know, we're hanging out washing with the phone there, asking our husbands when they're going to be home. We're not sitting under parasols being single focused on the one feminine thing that we were sort of waiting around for. We're so busy, we're multitasking and driving in cars with the UVA rays, and we're just aging. And so I have this thing where I feel really, really young. I feel like a young person and I want to emulate youth. And as you all know, like, our bodies are made up of mainly water. So when it comes to skincare, what your good old Pond's cold cream doesn't do, like that used to take your makeup off and moisturize your skin all in one go, but it's missing a few key elements. And one of the main things with our skin is hydration. So people go, well, what's dewy skin? Like, why does everyone want to have dewy skin? And in your world, Jules, like, I've been in Julie's world for 5 years, something like that, when my firstborn came along, and started listening to the podcast, and everything Jules talks about, you know, if you're on some of her pages and you see her beautiful imagery with the grapes, like the juicy full grapes and the juicy full lips, like it's femininity to its nth degree, right? So moisture and bounciness and buxom breasts, and not shriveled up sultanas. That's not as enticing as a big full juicy grape. So same with our skin. So if you learn how to moisturize and hydrate and tone your skin, it's really not, it's just something that I've become fascinated with. And it probably stemmed from when I was a makeup artist on set doing photo shoots for these gorgeous models, and was fascinated with how they looked on camera. So we're here tonight because one of the containers that I'm in with Jules at the moment, Embark, is all about women in leadership. And a lot of us have started online businesses in 2020, and it's just going to be exponentially more massive because we're so blessed in this time to be so connected with social media. But what I want to speak to you guys about, as Jules and I do quick makeup, is if you are starting your business, I want to involve a little bit of camera confidence. And a lot of that comes from your setup at home. So you don't need, I've got a ring light here because I do use it for makeup artistry. But there are little clip-on ones that you can put on your laptop that you can sort of charge with a USB. Yep, but they're fantastic. So lighting yourself up. Yeah, $10 from Kmart. And so I don't know about you guys, but I had a bit of a period this year where I did feel quite lonely and disconnected. And some of the coaches that I paid for different areas of my life that were maybe just starting out or whatever else would sort of, maybe they didn't have this camera confidence, this matching your inner self with your outer glow, because we're all born magnificent. We're all children of God or whatever you believe in. Like, we're all born like that one sperm and that one egg. We're all magnificent beings. And I think everyone knows it deep down, but we sort of lose that as we grow up. And so I just want people to show up in all their brilliance, right? So if I see someone and they have a Zoom chat with me, but they've set up in with the backlit room and you can't really see their face, it doesn't really help with me trying to read their soul or being connected to them. So Jules and I, we just know that there's a huge spectrum of women in her world, people who probably don't even own any makeup, to people who are full adornment like myself. I have a full earring collection sitting here, some headbands and things. And but yeah, just starting off right now, I just want to be open and honest. I have my kids that were saying they want to go to the toilet before bed and I'm hungry, and I've just had a shower, my hair's greasy, like super greasy. I haven't had my roots done for I don't know how long, and I've got actually no pants on. I'm just sitting here in undies and there's dishes, sort of thing. So this is what I do when I train my team a couple of times a week. I will sit down and I'll just tap in. This is what I'll get Jules to riff on too, because she's a genius at it. You get so used to tapping in, like, what's my vibe today? Like, what do I feel like wearing? And I just went to my wardrobe. My mother-in-law gave me this Starber shirt. I've never even worn it, but I quite like the colour. Don't overthink it, just whacked it on. And I've got no pants on. And this is the vibe I want to show up. You know, like a news anchor, they've often got their boardies on, but they're all business at the top. And so what I would normally do is get my dry shampoo my hair, and this one's just the standard sort of white one, so it's going to be good for my looking like my roots don't need doing. I don't really give two shits that my roots need doing, really, but when they're done, I feel amazing. Like, I actually really like myself because I've done so much work on myself, thanks to Jules and all the worlds that we're in together. But I love the extra too. Like, I love the everything too, right? So I'm happy to show up with my greasy hair. I'm not sitting here going, oh God, I look so ugly, or even saying those things, because words have so much power. I don't even say those things. I'm just like, this is me. I sat down with Jules before we pressed live, and I'm like, so I've got no pants on, my hair's greasy, you know, and she's like, yeah, cool, it's crazy. We've got kids. But this is how we do an online business. Like, no excuses, just do it. You know, I want my kids to know, nah, you're in bed, it's mum time now. I might not have pants on, but I'm going live, and this is just how we're rolling, because I want to walk into their worlds when they're young entrepreneurs and see that they can be, do, and have whatever they want in whatever that looks like. So yeah, Jules, I think you're a genius at every time you do a module in Queen School. I just am like, you know, you're the epitome of femininity. You are the Angelina Jolie for us, with your beautiful lips.
Receive, Julie, receive this.
Totally. And the thing with you is you've just got this phenomenal head of hair. Like, so my thing is helping people bring out their identity. So Jules, her hair's always amazing. She probably, I don't know, has a hairdressing appointment. I'm making this up, maybe once every 3 or 4 months. Is that right?
Yeah, about every 3 months. Yeah.
Yeah, because she's.
Yeah, that's why I do ombre things, and I don't have to worry about it.
It's stunning, and it seems like it's this beautiful thickness where, you know, she might wash it every 3 days or 4 days.
Yeah, my hair actually gets quite oily up the top, so I tend to wash it every second day.
Oh, that's good. But like, do you wash and wear it, or do you have to blow dry it?
Oh no, it's like a wash and wear. I throw my hair upside down just to quickly dry the roots. It's like 2 minutes, and then the rest of it doesn't matter. Off I go.
It's just, and that's the thing.
I had a haircut that was a bit longer before, and I was like, oh, I can't do this. I have to like style it. That I can't.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, you get to tap into when you're in Julie's world, you get to learn what feels good. You follow the breadcrumb trail of what feels good, right? Yeah. And so her hair's such a feature, so we don't really need to worry about that. Her colors bang on. Sometimes I'll look at people, like I did an adornment session with beautiful Adele, and I was like, you need to have some highlights, and I can just see this next level version with your identity, the next level you're becoming. Yeah. And so so it all starts with skin. So if anyone needs some help with skin, as I say, I meet people where they're at. Some people want the full. A good analogy is, let's say you're a Virgin air hostess. You're probably not very busy at the moment, but you know, they're generally very, very made up and gorgeous and glamorous, and that's carried through the ages, that you know, pin-up girl type look. They're very polished and they're very feminine, right? So they're into everything, skincare, the sunscreen, because of the UVA rays through the airplane, and then the full makeup and the hair. So I know when I'm speaking to her what I can put on the table with the skincare menu. But if I'm talking to some of our beautiful sisters, and I have spoken to a lot of your sisters, a lot of the girls in our world, in your world that I've become friends with, and they're like a bit triggered by makeup, right? And I want them to, like, my intention is, like, I get all excited for that. I'm like, oh, let's just, if you were at my house, here's what I would do. I'd just beautifully hydrate your skin, put some gel eye masks under here, maybe a quick peel mask, because you probably don't have much knowledge around skincare, and I find a lot of women don't. And so if we can exfoliate and put heaps of moisture and collagen and things back in topically, and get you looking bouncy and youthful and feeling like even your skin feels beautiful to touch when you look after it. And then let's just find a color of a lip that might look amazing on you, and that could be you know. And I start from basic and then show them all the spectrum, and I read their body to see if they're getting turned on for themselves or not, right? And then sometimes it's like, oh my God, I love it, but I'm not confident enough. And it's just that little push, and then it becomes their signature lip. So this looks terrible because I've got a really red face. But I saw a girl today do a quick live, and she's a total earth mama with no makeup except a lip, right? So I'm just going to show you. I'm going to even out my skin tone. So in my hot mess, let's say I'm jumping on tonight and I was doing a workshop in Julie's container without Julie, I would still be sitting here, no pants on. I got these earrings because this top makes me feel a bit like a librarian. I love the color, but it's not, to make it more me, I want something like this. This is really me, right? And it's just 1 second decisions, right, when I'm getting dressed. Or this, and I'd match my lip color with this and maybe put a headband on or something. Because I'm thinking about the vibe of me. Like, who am I? And the way that I know my identity is what lights me up when I look at my vision board of life, like Carly Marie says, which is your Instagram. So I actually love Celeste Barber. She's one of my favorite people because she's funny, and she raised the most money for the bushfires in Australia because she's somebody who shows up so authentically herself with her undies on and her pubes hanging out, and she's just herself, right? And no one else in Australia raised that much money. You know, like, she's so influential because she's herself, and she's really funny, and I love funny people. Back in my younger days, I kissed a lot of not that amazing looking men because they're really funny. I just love funny people. So I love being funny.
Really says.
I love funny, and so I like that part of me too. I love making people laugh. I love that energy exchange of funny. So she's part of my identity. Elizabeth Gilbert, also, I love everything about her. She's one of my favorite Instagram followers, and she's real. Like, she'll do a post of, hey guys, what about that one time I had Botox? Look how funny I look. She's just awesome. She's just everything. And I know that that's something that I am. I just say it how it is, right? So I want to be funny, and I want to be not taken too seriously. And I know because I have blonde hair and straight teeth that I can, I don't know, probably come across as a bit of a bimbo. So I like being funny and serious and really vulnerable to break down any of those preconceived ideas. Sometimes I like having my boozies out, and that can make your first impressions look a bit whatever, right? So it's like tapping into the essence of you. So how would you show up with beautiful lighting? You don't need a ring light or even one like Jules. Just sit yourself up in front of your window. So my office desk is right up against a window. So every opportunity, it's my job to show people makeup colors and do stories and things. Light yourself up. You are sunshine and rainbows, and you are here to be a star of your own movie. So sit in light. The second thing is, if I'm tired, I can't really see myself because I'm a tiny little screen on this phone, but generally I have these dark circles here. So where there is darkness, something I want to touch on it with light. I don't have any lights on in my house at all, because if I put the down lights on, they light me up here, and because your eye cavity is recessed, I'll have massive black circles here under my eyes, right?
I've got my lights on. I'll just switch mine off.
Yeah, and it doesn't look amazing on you. You look more tired when you're not really tired, because we're whole and perfect as we are. So if you can find the ways to light yourself up properly. So this is little things that I touch on with people as they're starting their entrepreneurial journey. Like, who are you? Plant the seeds of who you are from the things you love, right? And you just take them from your moving
All right,
vision
so
board, which is your life.
are we doing our 5-minute routine, and we're just going to walk our way through it and see where we end? Is that our plan?
So while I just do this, I'm just going to quickly light up my socket. Can you riff, Jules, on, I don't know if that resonates with you, on how you do a million lives and a million everything. How do you get yourself ready? Like, what do you tap into? How do you choose your colors and your outfits and stuff?
Well, that's part of my morning routine every day. That's one of my absolute non-negotiable self-care routines, is to allow myself 2 minutes in the morning to stand in front of my wardrobe and go, what am I feeling like today? This feeling in the middle of me. What would be the representation of that in my wardrobe and in color? Or it's, okay, I'm feeling a little bit like funked out, but I know that I'm going on a date with my husband later and I actually really want to feel like this on the date. So I will choose an outfit that makes me feel like that, because when you change your adornment, you change your state. You automatically change your vibration. So either I'm like, no, I'm just matching totally how I'm feeling today because I want that to be amplified, or how I'm feeling is a bit funked and I'm like, I don't want to stay like this all day. How I want to feel at that event or that live or that date or that whatever is like this. So I'm going to choose an outfit that reflects that feeling, and then I actually become that. And it's like 5 minutes and I've become that simply by changing what I'm wearing. So yeah, that's the non-negotiable for me. And I never used to do that, particularly with my first 2 kids. I was always that overly martyred mother of, I give everything to my children. I can't even have a shower on my own. And I don't see that. I don't live that way anymore. But I certainly can touch on the place of me that thought that and knew that. So I would never spend time, it would be like track pants and a top, and that was all I could give myself. But I look back on photos and I actually just think, like, you weren't genuinely lit up by who you were. There was part of me that was hiding in that motherhood state of what I said it had to be, which it didn't. It was just,
oh my God, I freaking love
like, there's
that.
part of you that resonates with that, right? That's why you're going,
that's 1,000% my
that's
story.
so
Yeah. 1,000% my story. And because I remember that I've told this story before in one of your containers, but I was at the playground with my first, same thing. She was in the shower with me. She was in the toilet with me. She was, I used to just, that she filled me up with every piece of oxytocin. So my husband got nothing.
Yeah.
And I went to the playground one day and because I think I'm really good chat and really funny, and I make friends easily. It's a superpower. We moved around a lot as kids, so it was a superpower of mine. And I went to the playground and I started to try and chat with his mum, but I looked like this, with greasy hair. I looked like that, And I had I didn't know I looked like that because I hadn't even looked in the mirror. And looking in the mirror used to be my favourite pastime.
Exactly. Hadn't even looked in the mirror. That's what I think. I used to even avoid mirrors. I wouldn't even look at myself in the mirror. I know, but that breaks my heart now.
Brutal.
Authentic.
And this mum wouldn't chat with me and then I got home and I did look in the mirror and had a good hard look at myself. And I was like, fuck, I wouldn't talk to you either. You look like a street rat and you need to have a shower. And that's the same thing. So that's when I was like, this wasn't matching here.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Everything that I spoke about, the Celeste and the Elizabeth and all the cool chicks that I love, that I'm trying to sort of
matching.
Yeah. And so that's how we sort of got to be here. But so love it. And I think it's so beautiful for your audience to hear this from you, Jules, because it's something that you embody. And when you embody something so naturally, you sort of forget to even mention this is how you do it. So that intuitive, how do I feel in front of the wardrobe type of thing. Yeah. A lot of us just choose a uniform or just an outfit every day because I can't wear skirts or I can't. Yeah. They just it's like, that's so beautiful that you shared that. I think it will resonate.
Yeah, and I think
and also educate so many people.
I'm so glad and feeling prepared just to change that, like our 6, 7 and 8-year-old daughters who would love to wear 7 outfits a day, is if I go, I think it's sad, and I put it on and then I notice that my energy is kind of does a little, like a bit better than what it was, but still a bit, I'm like, nope, that's not it, and off I go again. So I'm willing to do that play rather than what I could do is, it's good enough, you'll make do. So I think watching that sort of background, which is all my programming from childhood, it's good enough, it'll do, that kind of thing. So I watch that in myself too and make sure that I'm really starting my day self-honoring, because that's how I end my day then.
I love it. Amazing.
So I want to talk about what you just did then, because I think it's worth riffing on what our 5 minutes are. So these are great. So these are the Arbonne CC creams. So these are all I use. Well, where are you?
Yeah. So this is what I've just put on. So
Yeah.
this is, it's got 30 plus SPF mineral sunscreen, so a physical sunscreen in it. And they come in 4 colors. So I mix the light and the medium because I'm sort of in between. But sometimes I'll just do medium, and then I'll lighten up those troughs, which is like Jules is doing, with a light or a fair concealer.
Also,
to really pop that out.
That brush is a game changer.
That's the best, isn't it?
Oh my God.
So Jules, while you do that, I'm going to do my face like literally really quickly. And like, because my kid was just in here a minute ago and the cat's meowing, and I'm like, husband, take the cat and, you know, so the kids, I'm doing this. I'm so stoked that I grabbed this top, because I can let this top be my feature and I don't really need to do a full face, right? But sometimes I want my face, if I'm talking about skincare and makeup, I want my face to be the feature. So what I'll do, so I don't know if you guys know this, but on the Today Show, like Carl Stefanovic and all the men, everybody has makeup on. And on camera, they don't look like it because they don't have mascara and a sculpted ombre brow or anything like that. They don't have makeup, but they have makeup. Because if you watch what I'm doing here, my skin was quite red because I'm actually quite warm. It's really quite hot in here from the afternoon sun. And so I go quite red. Like if I have a glass of wine, my face goes really red. So what I'm doing actually, Jules and I, we use our CC cream. This is our everyday 5, it's called a Ready in 5 set. You get this, you get a brow product, you get a mascara, a cheek color, and a lip color. This is what I wear every single day because it gives me the sun protection. It gives me the coverage, and it's quite light and glowy. But because I want to jump on Zoom, I'm actually using this mineral powder. It's called Got You Covered Mineral Powder in Natural, because what happens is, see how Jules looks very glowy, which is gorgeous in real life to be glowy, because it's that thing that emulates the grapes and the juiciness and the wetness and the saliva and the femininity and aliveness and youthfulness, right? So that looks gorgeous, and she always looks stunning on camera, but I can get a bit sweaty. And so you'll notice if you ever see the newsreaders and things in person, they're very powdered, because shimmer, like oil shine, reflects the light. So it looks beautiful if you have a shiny lip because it reflects the light and gives the lip dimension. But matte absorbs the light. And so you'll be able to see the dimensions on the face if you use a powder. So what Jules could do is use a pressed powder just really quickly over that. Or let's say she's been made up all day, but she's got to jump on for a quick meeting or a quick live or a question and answer. Instead of getting her CC cream or her concealer back out, just grab your powder and just go over your makeup with that, right? So if I'm doing a 5 minutes in those.
And I never do.
Yeah, but you always look gorgeous, but it's just if you wanted to. So I've just got that on with concealer, and then literally I'm just going to do this. I've got my Starlight Glow palette. I love this palette. It's brilliant. So you've got a bronzer down here. Yeah, look at us. And I'm just going to sculpt a bit under my cheekbones here. So a quick rule of thumb with this is you go from that little triangle thing where your ear is to the corner of your mouth, because see here, your jawbone goes up on a 45 degree, and as we age, everything hangs down. So you want to keep your face looking lifted. So you sort of start here and you go forward. Don't go more forward than underneath your iris, because it'll look like a brown dirty mark here. So you just want to shade the sides of your face, and you don't want to overthink it. And the bronzer is not dark, so it won't look like Vegemite on your face, and it's really easy to use. So then I do my temples, because if you take the skin off your skull, there are holes here. And if you put a little dot here, you don't have to get new bronzer on your brush, but whatever's left you just do there. And then I've got a big forehead, so I just go like that around my forehead. And it's keeping this bit light, it's keeping that light and lifted, and this light and lifted. And then you can get the same color on the tip of your brush and whack it in your eye socket. So I squash it like this, and I shove it in here. And by squashing it, you're keeping that light and the pasty bit light, and it'll make your eyes look quite blue or more brown. So it's like, so you're doing a 3 on one side and an E on the other side. So 3, an E, and what's left, you just go around the forehead, chuck a bit in the eye socket.
Yeah, I
And
love
then
how you're a pro when you make a professional. I'm like, that's good enough. That's good because I can do it in 5 minutes.
100%. And like I do this at the stoplights, and then I whack my mascara on. When you do your mascara, like try and take your time and follow the growth of them. So these ones go that way, the middle ones go up and out, and the end ones go up and out this way. So create a fan shape. Gives you a nice flirty look. Whack
I'm
that
just going to
on.
talk to you about eyebrows for a hot little minute because
Oh, I love your
I'm
eyebrows.
obsessed with eyebrows, because actually I will do 1 minute on the rest of my face to spend 4 minutes on my eyebrows. Because I have a situation with my eyebrows. So I'm going to talk to you about it because actually looking at women's face, eyebrows are the thing that annoy me the most.
Oh, same.
Oh, okay. I was about to go, they may not for you, because what happens is women have different starting points with their eyebrows here. And I cannot handle it when one's starting here and then one's starting back here. And I spend my whole time looking at them like, what is happening? The other thing with my eyebrows is one actually has an arch that is lower and the other arch is higher. So you can even see if I do that. So if I actually just color my eyebrows as they are, I look really weird and uneven. Yeah. So, and they're different shapes just because they're like, whatever. This one gets thicker here and this one has a better arch on it. So I have to spend time doing even and even. And that's what I spend my 4 minutes doing. If I can have good eyebrows, the rest of it doesn't matter. But you tell me what you think.
That's perfect. I'm the same. It just kills me. And all of us that overplucked our brows in the 90s, it's horrendous. I can't deal. I'm like,
because they don't seem to grow back. I've known a couple of women who they did that in the 90s and then eyebrows never grew back.
It's so bad. And do you know, like I've had mine feather tattooed, but they're really faded. So if I didn't have that done, I actually look like an albino. I'm very, very, very fair. And eyebrows really frame your face. There's a really hilarious GIF or a meme, and I can't remember the actress, the beautiful dark-haired actress, has no eyebrows. All these actresses like Audrey Hepburn, and they've taken their eyebrows off and they look hilarious. So for me, with this intuitive identity kind of adornment for people, I just think far out, if you actually straightened up your eyebrows, you get more clients. Seriously, like I actually think it would magnetize people more if they fix their eyebrows.
I actually walk into shops sometimes I want to be like, wow, you've got amazing eyebrows.
Totally. Yeah. So a hot tip with your eyebrows is everybody has a rectangle and a triangle in some form. Some people have got a tiny rectangle and a long triangle, but for sexy femininity and magnetism, like if I was going out on a Saturday night, I do my makeup differently to how I would for Zoom and every day. Like I actually stretch this triangle part of my eyebrow to the top of my ear more, and it gives me more eyelid to do a smoky eye on, and it lifts my face. If you make your tail come down too far, it can pull your face down. But if you can aim for the top of your ear with this angle, it gives you a really beautiful feminine lifted angle. Just tiny little things like that lift your face. And like if you see that, I'm actually using the dark pencil because once again on Zoom in tiny like night light, the more saturation of color, the more you'll see it and it'll frame your face. I'm always trying to get Jules to get the dark pencil, but now I understand her eyebrow obsession. I'm like, no, I'm not going
dark feels like such a commitment. I'm like, I'll stuff it up.
So good. So anyway, I actually do this in about 3 seconds flat when I'm not talking.
Okay, I don't spend 3 seconds, but that is like the longest thing that I will spend on my five. If I'm jumping on a Zoom, that is the longest thing I'll spend my time on. I wish more women spent more time on their eyebrows. If I was going 5-star, situation with my face, I have this wonderful thing called eyebrow. I'm going to go on with my eyebrow obsession. Eyebrow mascara. It has become my best friend. I love this so hard, and I can't tell you how scared I was of it to begin with.
So good, isn't it?
It's
so amazing. So I've got blonde eyebrow hairs unless I tint them, and I'm not very good at the old tinting and waxing. Like I'm a makeup artist and I look like I'm really adorned and all that, but I haven't waxed the fuzz under here for a long time. Like I'm not someone who goes and gets my waxing or a spray tan regularly. It's just when I've got an event or something. So these are good. They color the hairs. So you can do these on their own if you're blessed with a beautiful eyebrow garden and you want to just give it a bit of a groom, these are wonderful. And they're smudge proof as well. So if you sweat and you get hot and you want it to last, I'll always do that on a bride. So just quickly, what I do is, just to recap, I put the CC cream on the back of my hand and I literally start in the center of my face, and you can go under the eyes if you want, and then I just blend it all up and out. And if you're going out, you don't really need a full mask of makeup. It's really good to see freckles and things on the side of your face so that your skin looks beautiful and breathable, and you look human and not like you're wearing a mask. And then we do the 3 and the E really quickly, or just like the sides of the cheeks, and then the forehead, just to add a bit of color, because sometimes you can look a bit washed out, especially if you're a lighter complexion. And then I just whack a little bit of that in the sockets, and I just whack a brow on, and I'll do my my eyelashes. And then lips, it depends on, once again, the context, what you're calling in and who you're speaking to. So if I am presenting something really powerful and I've written lots of notes, like I'm doing a training on a certain subject and I want my team to really learn and have some tangible takeaways from it, I will often wear a red lip, because red will get people to take notice of what you're saying. If any time I've ever asked for a pay rise when I used to work for people, I'd always rock in with a red lip and I'd always get the pay rise, because people will notice what you're saying and they'll look at your mouth. If ever I was doing a stage presentation, I'd always wear a red lip. And in that case, I'd wear hardly any makeup and just a red lip. But if I'm just, having a one-on-one with a new client, I wouldn't wear a red lip because it can be a bit intimidating. If I'm feeling powerful and in the mood, I would, but it's just very much picking up on the energy of what it is that you're doing on the day. So in the Ready in 5 set, we have glosses that come in that set, and they're beautiful. They emulate exactly what I was talking about before with that beautiful moisturized, juicy lip, and they come in 5 different colors. So I'm going to put this color on. It's called Hazel.
Okay, so that's literally my 5-minute makeup. Literally. So 1 minute on my skin, because my skin's pretty good, and 4 minutes on my eyebrows.
So good. And then you've just got the best hair ever.
And that's it. But I did want to do your little hack, because I swear to God, this is coming up in Nourishing the Mother tomorrow, because I learned this hack off of Sarah and it has literally changed my life. I love it so hard. It's your lipstick hack. So this has become my favorite. So this one is Camellia. What is it? Camellia.
I think, yeah.
Camellia.
I love that color.
So if I've had no time doing that, or I want to freshen up, then
Oh, those lips, mate, they're so good.
I'm whacking the lippy on there, but it doesn't stop there. I'm going to do a bit of this.
It's so good.
And then on here. There we go.
Beautiful. It's the best.
More pinky.
Yep, and because
it's 30 seconds.
And it's a cream, so it looks like skin, whereas if you've got powder on, sometimes it looks like you're wearing makeup. So it's stunning.
And that's it. That's my 5 minutes. And you look incredible.
Yes, I've just done a bit more of adornment. It's all smoke and mirrors because I've got undies on over here and a mess everywhere. But you feel good. It's the vibe. I loved how you said that, Jules, about what do you want to feel? What are you stepping into for the day? So
yeah, it's like setting an intention, only it's an intention that is physically manifest on your body, and that has power because it changes how you feel, right?
100%. And a starting point for somebody could be a really juicy, clear lip gloss to suddenly draw attention to these lips that you've never even adorned with a balm or anything like that. So that could feel quite extra. And then a clear brow mascara and a clear mascara to get a bit of grooming happening with a beautiful 2 skincare products, maybe. Like that could be where you're at. But, the sky's the limit. You can do, as you know, like so many different things with makeup. It's fun.
So you're coming into Queen School as well for me, which I'm like so grateful for. And you're going to do a workshop in there on adornment and taking it to the next level. But what we really wanted it to be here. So if you're in Queen School, you get that treat. If not, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to check in with Sarah, because watch her lives, watch her videos, join her programs, because they really are so well delivered and they give you the pro tips, and she has this incredible way of dialing them down into exactly where you're at and where you want to be and what's possible for you. So, I mean, Sarah's a mum with 2 young kids. I'm a mum with 4 kids. My youngest is 3. If it ain't being done in 10 minutes, it's probably not being done. So it doesn't have to be that your best self is when the kids grow up, or your best self is, well, you know, I just can't be because I'm all about the kids right now. And we're both about the world of and. You can be that devoted and devotional mother, and you get to be devoted and devotional to your own feminine, your body, your light, your energy, and therefore how you carry yourself and where you send that energy in the world, wherever you choose to send that relationship, you know, community, or just showing up because you have a gift to give and you have lived a life that's allowed you to have that gift, and what a shame not to. So we really want you to be able to do that. So I would really love you to be able to connect with Sarah. Please jump on her socials and watch everything. If you need help just to tailor your skincare or your makeup. Look, Sarah was amazing. She said to me, look, here's all of the options, but what I want you to do is just start where you're at, and let's just first off clean out what's old and has been hanging around for 20 years in your makeup box, and clean your brushes. That was also a game changer. And then when you're ready and one thing finishes, we just replace it with one thing. And that was such beautiful permission, because it allowed me this really soft entry point rather than feeling like I was overwhelmed and I had no idea what was going on. So I want everyone to go and connect with Sarah, because you have seriously changed. You've changed my idea of myself in aging, and I love my skin now, and I love having shine. And I used to be mad on the matte and the powder, and now I'm like, because I've actually got skin shine for, I think, probably the first time in my life, I'm like, there's no powder going on here.
Same, like, yeah, I love it. It's gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. But Jules, I just want to honor you. Like, you know, imagine if you had never stepped into your light. That's what it's all about. Like, how the ripple effect that you have created. It's just, I've got goosebumps like on the tops of my knees. Just, it's honestly, everybody has a light to shine. And, you know, if it's camera confidence that you need help with, or anything at all, like, you've got, really, it's all under your nose. It's all here for the taking. So thanks for having me, mate. You're just absolutely a beacon for all of us, and I can't wait for Queen School. And if you haven't done Queen School, it is, you think skin and makeup changes you? Oh my God, Queen School. And Embark.
Okay, thank you. I really appreciate that. But how do we connect with you?
So on here, you can see I'll be tagged on here, my personal page. You're more than welcome to jump into my inbox and have a chat. I often love to have a chat through video messenger in between doing things with the kids. Call, you can video call me, whatever. I like it to be really personal. I'm on Instagram, Sarah Wake _. And I have my business page for Facebook is Sarah Wake Hair and Makeup. So come and say hello. I'd love to hear from all of you.
Thank you. And we would really love you to comment if you got something amazing out of this, if you would just love to share perhaps the relief or the insight, or just the appreciation that you have for yourself and the 5 minutes that you do give yourself. That's what we both would really love for you to have out of this, is to make it easy and make it doable. And please let us know. We would love to hear from you. So thank you so much for sharing your evening with us, and we hopefully will see you online. Yeah. All right, let me just